Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 504 Core Podcast. An aggressive night for the New Orleans Pelicans, Mike. Number seven, Ace Bailey's gone, Trey Johnson's gone. You go with Jeremiah Fears. We talked about Jeremiah. Can't really shoot, turns the ball over, but young, high motor, great handles, basketball player who can defend and get to the rim. And then the most interesting move, I think, of the night of any NBA team, you go from 23 to 13, and you trade down and you select Derik Queen, a guy we've raved about, but you give up that Milwaukee, New Orleans unprotected first round pick 2026. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I want your initial reaction before I start rambling.
Uh, was never really the biggest the Fears pick. I wasn't the biggest fan of. Wasn't mad at it. Wasn't excited about it either. He's got people say he's got one of the best handles in the past like 10 years. So you have that. He is young. He reclassified. So you're basically watching a senior out there play this year. Had really great moments in the SEC. Yeah, I think, I'm not gonna say it's a bad pick because you really don't know. I really wasn't sure. I was really hoping Trey Johnson would fall to us, just add another elite shooter, but it didn't happen. So they took Fears, wasn't mad at it. It's whatever. But yeah, hopefully he can develop into something good. Undersized guards who can't shoot typically don't. There's not too many of them in the NBA that have had success, and you're kind of just
We'll
banking on
see.
that.
Does he remind you a little bit of John Wall? Just the athleticism, the ball handling, the speed?
Um, I don't really know. I don't know about John Wall.
Because Jeremiah Fears, I mean, they're about the same size. Obviously, Wall at the end of his career and the middle of his career weighed as much as Wall, but just the tenacity towards the rim, his ball handling ability, all that kind of stuff, I think aligns with Wall. I think Wall was a better shooter off the start. Obviously, injuries played and kind of hampering Wall's career, but I think that's his ceiling. It's a player like John Wall, and then his floor is obviously Kyra Lewis, somebody the Pelicans drafted. You mentioned, I don't think he is Kyra Lewis, but I think he could be a player like John Wall.
I mean, I don't think he's Kyrie Lewis either, but if you think about it, there's a lot of similarities. Undersized guards, very fast guards, can't really shoot that well. Both reclassified in the SEC, so there are similarities. I'm not going to say he is Kyrie Lewis because we just don't know, but I'm hopeful. I'm not going to sit here and be negative about it. I think he can be a good player. I know a lot of NBA scouts and personnel raved about Fears, and they thought he was going to be, a lot of people think he's going to be a special player. So I'll roll with it. I'll try and be optimistic about it. But yeah, I mean, the story of the night was obviously Derek Queen.
Okay. I
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
we're both Queen
me
guys. A
too.
lot of people are Queen guys. I think people appreciate his talent. He's got a decent size. He's kind of a little bit of an unorthodox body, but you know he
Zach
he
Randolph.
he. I mean, he is a good player. He's one of the more like just like offensively skilled players in the draft. I mean, it is pretty impressive. But yeah, to give up a first round pick next year when you're in the West, you're not really guaranteed a playoff spot. You're never really healthy. You're banking on Zion Williamson being healthy. You're just, this roster construction is getting an overhaul. You have Willie Green, who never plays rookies. Like he's literally one of the worst coaches in the league. The Knicks have wanted to interview every single head coach in the league except Willie Green. They want to go with Borrego. So Willie Green's not the best coach to be doing this kind of stuff with, and Gale doesn't want to spend the money to hire a new coach. So only time will tell with this trade if Derek Queen goes on to be,
What we
you
think
know,
he to be.
yeah, I mean, if he goes on to be next Zach Randolph or a perennial All Star, fringe All Star player, just a very, very, very good player, then
Worth it.
people will forget about this. But I think Giannis is going to request a trade in about 10 minutes from everything I'm seeing. I saw Shams like an hour ago. I was like, oh, Giannis is looking at what the Bucks are going to do in the draft and free agency. It's like, well, they don't have any draft picks. They traded them all away to already help him, and they got no cap space, so
Here's
I
the
don't even know
thing.
what they're talking about. Like,
So
there's nothing
that's the
that's going to
big.
impress Giannis that they can do. Like, there's nothing. So, I just think it's very rich for what they gave up for him, and I just think it's the thing that's been driving me crazy on Twitter and all these Pelicans fans. It's like, oh, they haven't been aggressive in so long. It's like, okay, yeah, true. But there's a difference between being aggressive and being smart and being calculated instead of just being reckless. Like at least protect the pick to top 4 or something. Because if this pick ends up being like a top 5 pick and what's considered to be a loaded draft, and Queen is not the player everyone thinks it is, like Joe Dumars should be fired like instantly. But Gail's not going to do it. She's cheap. Gail's really good at hiring people and let them take over the reins, and then just not being successful. So I went on a little pretty long tangent. I don't know where you want to jump off.
Yeah, no. I'm going to start with Derik Queen, the player. Derik Queen, the basketball player, dude. He's like a ballerina in the post. The guy's got incredible moves. He's great jump shot. He's got a really nice jab. If we could get some highlights, Mike, and put this up there while I'm talking about his game, but he's got some good jump shots. He's got good post moves. He attacks the rim. Great offensive rebounder. Struggles a little bit defensively. His floor, I see Jahlil Okafor. His ceiling, I see somebody like Zach Randolph, even Sagoon of the Houston Rockets. I think he's a good basketball player. I also think that he fits New Orleans culturally, just his personality and everything you see about Derik Queen. I think he's a good player, and the Pelicans obviously believed in him. He's a guy who plays with a high motor chip on his shoulder. But to that point, that Bucks pick, we don't know what it's going to be. There is a chance Giannis does not request a trade too, and if Giannis doesn't request a trade and the Bucks play and Giannis plays, I don't care. Dude, they're making the playoffs. These sucks. All right. And then if the Pelicans, if Zion plays, they're at least in the play-in. So then that pick isn't going to really be what Derik Queen was for this year. So instead, you just get 2 good players that you already did your draft homework on instead of waiting for next year. Because we had the same conversation. Correct me if I'm wrong. We had the same exact conversation with the Lakers pick last year when we traded for DeJounte Murray. Terrible trade, by the way, but it was more towards Tyson Daniels than towards that Lakers pick.
Yeah, but the Lakers didn't have, Dame Lillard.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know though.
I just think going off the Pelicans history, they're gonna get fucked in this. Like that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, I think best case scenario is Derik Queen has an all rookie type year, like first or second team, and then the Pelicans make the play in or playoffs, and play in Pels classic. But yeah, no, I think this team is in the West. Like if the Pelicans were in the East, I would be like way more on board with. But like I said, I think Giannis is going to request a trade. I think Sham's reporting this stuff saying like, oh, he's waiting to see what they're going to do. They can't do anything. They literally can't do anything. And he has more value. Giannis has more value now than he will next year or at the dedeadline. So
I agree with you.
It makes no sense for them not to.
When's the last European to request a trade?
I just think it was a very arrogant move by Joe Dumars. Like, I understand it's your guy, but like you can't just be doing this shit. Like, there's no margin of error for small market teams where it seems like no one even wants to go to your franchise and never had success. So, and Joe Dumars is like, well, whatever. Troy Weaver's this and that. It's like Troy Weaver ran 2 of the most unsuccessful franchises in the last NBA, and everyone's like kissing their ass, and I have no idea where this is coming from. So I think it's a very arrogant move. Hopefully it pays off. I'm obviously rooting for him. We're both Queen guys, but I think it was a little bit rich. Aggressive, yes. Idiotic, I think, yes, as well. So
but, hey, here's another thing. Who really gives a fuck if Derik Queen is good?
Wait, what?
If Derik Queen's good, who cares?
No, I think it's going to be relative to whatever that pick ends up being. So if Queen's good and whatever, then that's great. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at this is Derik Queen. Derik Queen is the pick this year for next year's pick. Like,
yes,
next year's pick is.
And they're good. Both these guys are like Jeremiah Fears, I believe, is still 18.
Yeah, no, that's where like I'm like really excited about like how young he was and how well he played and how he looked at certain points. I'm not anti Derek Queen or Jeremiah Fears. Like I want these guys to succeed. I'm hopeful. I'm always gonna be optimistic on the drafting side of the things. It's just not protecting the pick even just a little bit, even if it's like top four or whatever. I just think it was pretty irresponsible. So I just I'm Joe Dumars just hasn't earned the credibility or the trust from me, or really they shouldn't be from any Pelicans fans. And the national media is, a lot of people. Some it seems like most people are like either completely on board with this or just like, "What the hell are you doing? Like this is one of the worst trades ever." So only time will tell. But that's the real thing. Like time will tell.
We
Let's
can
see how it
all
goes.
speculate everything right now about this trade and say it's terrible, but in reality, we really don't know. Um, let's just, we're not going to speculate. If Giannis requests the trade, we're going to come on here and then we can really start speculating into what that pick can be. But right now, let's
Well,
just talk about these players a little bit more. Derek
wait,
Queen,
wait, wait. I
freshman
have a
last year,
question first.
led Marin.
I have a question first. Do you want Giannis to request a trade? We still own their 2027 pick the year afterwards, so it's still beneficial, I would say. You just got to
Request a
wait a
trade
year.
next
I
year.
mean, you're gonna bite the bullet next year.
Request a trade next year.
It could happen, but like, you know, I don't know. What were we gonna say?
Um, so Derek Queen averaged what 17-9 on 52% shooting. He struggled 3 point percentage wise, but he played really well in the NCAA tournament shooting threes. He's a guy who can shoot. Dude, a block, a steal, a game. We talked about his bowling ball, kind of ballerina in the post. I like him. Jeremiah Fears, all SEC first team as a 18-year-old, basically a high school senior, averaged 17 points, 4 assists, 3.4 turnovers. So that turnover to assist ratio does scare me. Has some great handles, can get rebounds, almost 5 a game as a shorter guard, almost 2 steals. He's a solid player. Didn't shoot the basketball well from three, like Queen, under 30%. And then the Pelicans also going ahead and drafting a kid out of Georgetown by Micah Peavy. Played really well. Wing defender. He does shoot the three well. Let me pull up his stats real quick.
But yeah, Micah Peavy. I like Micah Peavy. I was going on a little deep dive before this.
Yeah,
Really
he's kind
good
of he's a
defender.
wing. Yeah, he can play
He's
guard.
a typical wing.
Yeah, fifth-year senior, got a lot of experience. Averaged 17 points, 2.3 steals. Good defender, like you said, Mike. 17 points, 2.3 steals, about 6 rebounds, and also about 4 assists. Complete player. Shoots 40%. I mean, yeah, 40% from three on 4 shots.
Yeah,
Not
that
bad.
was.
He's 6'7", could be a combo guard.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead.
he didn't shoot the ball well. I was looking at his stats. He didn't shoot the three ball well, most of his college years, and then this year he shot 40%. So he's a little
He
bit
can
older.
bump.
Obviously, he's a fifth year guy. But yeah, I mean, he's just going to be one of those guys who just kind of comes in here and earned his way. Potentially earn his way on the defensive side of things, and then hopefully just hit some threes. I mean, if he shoots anywhere near 40%, that'd be a massive, steal. So I saw his interviews. I liked his demeanor. I liked his attitude. Yeah, hopefully he can come in here and kind of become like a defensive catalyst, Najee Marshall, Herb Jones kind of player. You never know. Hopefully he's a steal. But if I was a GM, man, I would stockpile second round picks because like if you hit on a second round pick, those guys are so valuable in the NBA. Like those cheap contracts for 3 to 5 years of control, like super cheap. Like I just think they're super important to hit on. But yeah, hopefully you can kind of become a steal and yeah.
Well, I got to see if this is true. The Pelicans signing this one guy.
Oh, Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Well, Pelicans also signing Hunter Dickinson, who got a lot of NIL money from Kansas, but really kind of struggled his entire
They
career in
they gave him a
Kansas.
two-way, which is like
Yeah, so,
interesting.
Yeah, it plays some G League. Averaged 17 and 10 at KU. Struggled defensively. Big body. What is he? 7'1". Um, I mean, he was a good player at Michigan. Averaged what, 18 and 10 at Michigan, and he averaged 17 and 10 at Kansas. Fifth year player. That's all I got on Hunter Dickinson.
What you think he's gonna make the team? No way, huh?
They don't have a lot on. Who knows? I mean,
I remember him being kind of solid at Michigan, but yeah, I do remember him transferring.
and struggling at Kansas. Who knows? I mean, he still averaged 17 and 10. Um,
No, that's not a guy I'm like sitting here like,
yeah,
oh,
I'm
this
not
guy's the
either.
next whatever. It's just, I mean, I think the player that's going to make or break this draft is Derek Queen, honestly. I mean, the ideal is to have Jeremiah Fears be your point guard of the future and Derek Queen to be, your 4 or 5 of the future. So,
How about Beignet Boys for Derek Queen and Zion?
no,
It's a nickname.
I don't know. Yeah. Is Zion even going to be on the team next year? I don't even know at this point. It,
Beignet Boys. We got three guys with high motor though in the draft, which I like.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to summer league. I'm always weirdly looking forward to summer league. It's especially if Pelicans got high picks, but they should be pretty good this year summer league wise.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't know. It's gonna be a fun roster to watch, but hopefully it works out. So what are your predictions on all 3 picks, like career wise?
I'm high on Derek Queen, but I don't know. I wasn't high on Jordan Hawkins. I need to. I cannot give you a prediction on Jeremiah Fears right now. I don't know what kind of basketball because I feel like he is nowhere near developed in his game. Where I think Derek Queen is really developed offensively, has that motor. I have an idea of what Derek Queen can give you on the basketball floor. I don't really know what Jeremiah Fears is going to give you because he could go a couple of different ways. This kid, a lot of energy, fast, can attack the rim, draws a lot of fouls, good defensively, but he struggles shooting and turning over the ball. And does he gain Willie Green's trust to put him into the lineup because he's going to need minutes to fail and learn from it?
That's the problem. Is like Willie Green's not the coach to be doing this. It's not like a Will Hardy or someone who can just throw guys out there. So I don't know. That just I hope they pan out. That's all you can really say. But I like the guys. I like Fears is an upside pick, and Queen I think is an upside pick too. Like I think, but it's just like you gave up a lot to
Larry
get him.
Queen, baby, put him in a blizzard, TQ.
Dude, it'll be fun. I think his ceiling is like a Shingun. I think that's a good comp, like a kind of a
Shingun,
weird
Zach. Yep,
center. Yeah, weird center, very skilled.
yep. Shingun reminds me a lot of him.
Yeah,
Or Derek Queen reminds me a lot of Shingun. So yeah,
looking
see what
forward to it.
happens.
Do you think they make another move or no? I feel like they have to,
Yeah. What do
especially
you do
especially
with
trading next year's pick. You kind of have to make like a not an
yeah,
all in move, but a move that like maybe solidifies you a little more. Because this team
yeah.
is very weird. I mean, think about all the guards they have on this team.
It's extremely weird, dude.
Crazy.
I don't know, dude. Like, what do you even do with Jordan Hawkins?
I think Jose and Hawkins are your two like dangle guys out there, kind of players, like whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, at this point, why trade Herb or Trey? I mean, there's no point in doing that. Um,
bigger.
yeah,
That's all I got.
Jose and Hawkins are your two like watch out trade guys, in my opinion. But we'll see. I don't know. Not mad or disappointed. Just
Confused.
yeah.
Concerned.
I'm
We're
concerned with
concerned.
the
We're concerned.
I'm concerned with Dumars is I'm so excited for his aggressiveness. Yeah, okay. Yeah, give it 8 months. See how excited you are. Yeah, I'm just concerned about Dumars in general. I think Gail's handing over the keys to a
It said
person
that
with a not
Derik,
strong past.
well, he did win the NBA championship. I know that was a long time ago, but as a general manager
Can we
and as a
talk about? So did David Griffin.
yeah, I didn't want to fire David Griffin now.
His time will come. Dude, you can fire bad people. You don't have to hire bad people right after. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's no fucking standards with the Pelicans, and that's the problem. That is the number one problem. There's no standards with this franchise. I like the aggressiveness. Yeah, you're just fucking making stupid moves. Yeah, okay. Great. That's awesome. Remember the Portland series when we beat them and Chris Paul and Tyson Chandler? It's like we have no history of excellence. We just like if we make the play in, people are happy. It's like people are just looking for an excuse to party. No standards of excellence. It's really, really sad.
Hey, at least we're not the Hornets. That's
The Hornets are in a better position than we are right now.
I don't think so. I wouldn't want LaMelo
I'd
Ball.
rather be the Hornets right now. You got the nipple, baby.
Yeah, I do like
You got
Colin.
Brandon Miller. I like Brandon Miller. LaMelo is still a trade asset in some kind of capacity.
Oh.
Would you rather LaMelo or Zion?
Derek Queen. No.
Yeah, Derek
I
Queen
could
trumps
equal.
all. No, I'm excited to watch Derek Queen. We talked about it for a while. If anyone's listened to this podcast, we've always been Derek Queen guys. So, like I said, it's just
Watch
pretty
Derek
rich.
Queen. Go look at the film. Watch his footwork. The dude is like a ballerina on the basketball floor. Very nimble. And here's another thing for all you cool cats and kittens who haven't watched NBA basketball in a while. There are a lot of bigs, two big lineups are coming back. It wasn't popular when AD and Boogie were playing together. It's starting to get back to that. Now you can look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They play two centers. You can look at the Pacers. They play two bigs as well. There's a lot of teams that are starting to go back to two big lineups. I'm going to be interested if they play Derek Queen at the four any this season.
I think the Pelicans are gonna play three. I think. Well, if you count Zion as big, but Zion at the one, and then I think they'll play Queen and Missy as well.
I
So
agree.
I think
I agree.
they'll try and revolutionize. I don't know. It's Willie Green. I really have no idea with Willie Green. Yeah, that's all I got. I feel like I've talked enough about it.
Like and subscribe. Hey, you know what? I feel like we've done a good job in our draft pick so far. We like Tyson from the start. You loved Jordan Hawkins. I didn't like Jordan
That was an
Hawkins.
old regime. Well, I mean, I'd like Jordan Hawkins more if Willie Green plays more than 6 minutes a game. So
Yeah, that's all
I
I
mean,
got for you,
some
man.
guys just need play time. But yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. I think summer league will be. Summer league's not everything, obviously, but
It's not like
I think it'll show some stuff.
If Derek Queen puts up 40 in summer league, don't say he's gonna be an all-star this year or something crazy. Summer league is, dude. Doug McDermott dropped like 50 in summer league. Doesn't mean anything.
I think it kind of show you it. You'd rather see guys succeed, obviously. You don't want to see them
Yeah,
just go
100%.
out there and look terrible. But yeah, we'll
Remember
see.
Nikhil Alexander Walker?
He's the goat of summer league. He was fun. I mean,
Hey, good NBA player, by the way.
Nikhil's
Great,
carved
good
himself out
NBA
as a
player.
nice little role player. So he's gone on to have a successful career. So,
I love Noah.
oh, dude, I saw a tweet today, and I was just like getting depressed. I got to read it real quick. It's just basically the assets we turned in.
Oh, I already saw him.
Dyson Daniels,
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram, CJ, Larry Nance, Lakers first round pick, Pacers first round pick next year. Most our pick / Bucks pick next year, and the least favorable of Pell's Bucks into DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and Derek Queen.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Derek Queen, baby.
If you would have traded all that, Jesus.
No, they just waited too long. There's a I guess there's got to be a gray area between being aggressive and not doing anything. Griffin was doing nothing or waited way too long, and Dumars is being a little reckless. But we're gonna find out. So only time will tell. But
Yeah.
that's all I got.
I agree. All I got as well.
All right. If you guys can like and subscribe, appreciate it, and see you next time.